Hey, what is up everyone? Danny and Alex. In this segment, let's look at all the previous basic techniques we talked about, such as punching, knees, elbows, as well as basic kicks we did for Muay Thai for MMA. But today, we're going to cover some basic ways you can actually use defensively to stop those techniques. So check it out. All right, let's start with the jab. The jab is going to be the most frequent punch you're going to see, whether you're boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai fighting, or mixed martial arts, right? So this is going to be the most active punch you're going to see. So on the jab, there's many ways to actually block the jab, but I'm going to show you some basic stuff today. So the first one is just a parry. So as he throws his jab, I'm just deviating, see? Just deflecting it to the side. Notice how I always train with my hands open. That's simply to teach you to relax. If you're always stiff like this, you're going to be slow. So always keep your palms like this and just deflect. Now, you want to make sure to always block towards the outside in as opposed to from the inside out. If I go inside, I'm also opening up for this technique, all right? So I always want to block and put everything bundled up together. So pushing his hand towards his right cross. That way it's hard for me to hit me with a 1-2. Now, this is the first one. So think about a fly, just swatting it away. Don't do an exaggerated movement. Always stay relaxed, because for mixed martial arts, there's going to be punches, elbows, kicks, clinching, body locking, and shots, right? You have to take care of everything. It's not just like a Muay Thai fight. For mixed martial arts, you have to be aware of the level changing as well. So every time he strikes something, you have to be aware that after the punch, he might level change and shoot for your legs or your body. So you want to keep every movement you do defensively. You want to keep everything the most economical way possible. You want to keep everything short, everything simple, right? So on the jab, just deflect, deflect. If we're fighting, deflect. Now on the cross, same thing on the opposite side. Super simple, guys. Here, deflect. Once again, from the outside, pushing everything in, right? So here, right? The thing is, you have to understand something. I'm talking about tactics and strategy right now. If he throws the cross, slow motion, look, the weight is being transferred to the lead leg. That being said, it's going to be difficult for him to continue traveling past once he realizes that he got deflected here to kick with this leg. He might do so, but there's not a lot of power, all right? His power is going to come back when he retorques with the left side, all right? So I want to bundle everything up in that direction. That way there, if I need to move after the cross, I'm moving in this direction. So that's going to be for another video. We're going to talk about angles, but for now, on the jab, just push it away. On the cross, push it away. Now let's cover the third punch we looked at, which was the lead hook. On the lead hook, you don't want to be blocking with your hands. In this one here, if the lead hook's coming on this side, all you're going to be doing is using your arm and covering up as such, right? Because you want the wrist and the forearm to cover up on the temple and create the cheek, so that way there's no cuts, and then the rest of your arm covering your chin, all right? So right here, your shoulder, your forearm, all like a triangle, okay? So when he throws his left hook, you're going to use a triangle motion and always look in front. Never look to the side, all right? Most common mistake is people are afraid and they look away. Then they don't see what's coming up next, okay? Sometimes there's a combo or a right hand following up, so always stay aware in the front. So here, boom, that way there I'm aware of what's coming up next. On the uppercuts, right? The uppercuts, if they're long range, you're just going to block and tap like this. You just catch it, almost like a catcher's mitt, you know? Throws the uppercut, just catch it. Lead one, same thing, just catch it. Tap, tap, right? Sometimes you're a little bit closer and you didn't see it coming. As he throws, you just move out, see? Just move out, all right? And sometimes you'll be in a clinch position from here. Maybe he's tying me up from here, and now he throws an uppercut. So now you're going to have to use your hand, because it's hard to move back. He's holding your neck. So if he's holding like this, don't try to move away from it, because now you're going to be stuck in that uppercut. So what you're going to do now, of course, when you're here, there's two things. Number one, as he throws the punch, you can also just tie him up, right? And then you can go back to your elbow techniques. But just to block the uppercut itself, look, so you guys can see right here, just catch it. Just catch it. Could be either side, this one or this one. And then you want to tie him up, right? So these are basic ways to stop punches you can use for mixed martial arts. Now let's look at elbows. Now elbows, of course, it's just like a weapon, right? So Muay Thai has weapons, right? There's degrees and levels of the damage each weapon can do. With the elbows, there's no padding, all right? So with MMA, you have the MMA gloves. You have a little extra padding. When we do Muay Thai, we have 10-ounce or 12-ounce gloves. But with the elbows, it's bone on bone, right? So it creates cuts and it's very damaging. So on the elbows, I would rather not be in the way, all right? But if you have no choice and you got surprised, the least you want to do is at least cover yourself. So that way there, the elbow, the point of the elbow or the forearm doesn't slash you and smash your forehead. So every time you're going to be in close, of course, you have to understand the range again is, if he's going to be using elbows, you should be aware that's because you were that close, right? He's not going to elbow you from here. But if you were closer and you saw an elbow coming at the last second, what you want to do is use your forearms. Don't tap with your hands on this one. All right, so if you chew, let's say, for example, let's start with the cut down elbow on this side. It goes here. I just want to cover. See how I'm just covering here? I'm just blocking and at least making a shield here with my forearm. I don't want to use my hands or the top of my fingers to block an elbow. That's going to break your hand. You always want to use the hardest surface of your forearm. So as he comes in, boom, just like jam it in. It's almost like you're throwing an upward elbow into his cut down elbow right here, okay? Now let's say, for example, it was the lead elbow, same thing here. Just cover on this side, cover on this side. The thing with elbows, they're gonna be coming up really fast. It doesn't matter the angle, it's short. And sometimes at the last millisecond, you realize an elbow's coming in. So there's not too many ways of blocking elbows except from covering. If it was the uppercut elbow, let's say you threw this uppercut elbow here. Now, if I covered here, look, the elbow is going to go right through the middle, all right? So you could try to tap it with the hands, but the thing here, this is going to go right through. So what I would recommend is always closing everything here, always taking it on your forearm. So if the uppercut comes here, see, again, boom, again. Now, it's going to create a little bit of damage, and it's not comfortable here, but it's way better to receive it here than here or here, guys, all right? So these are just very basic ways we use in Muay Thai to stop elbows. Let's look at kicks, all right? So kicks. Now, there's many ways of stopping the kicks. The first one is going to be the lead push kick. If you threw the lead push kick, you don't want to stay in the zone. He's going to back me away. So as your stance is here, he throws the lead push kick, you're just going to tap it to the side and deflect his foot, all right? Just like the jab. When he threw the jab, you parry to the side, to the outside. Same thing with the foot. You parry towards the outside in, okay? You want to stay away from the power side. All right, so the lead push kick comes in, just tap it and move. So that way they're still in range to use your counters. The second kick would be the inside low kick, right? So if you threw the kick here, that's the kick, boom, right? You don't want to take too many of those because the inside low kick, it's going to take a toll eventually, all right? If you've never done Muay Thai, inside low kicks, they don't hurt on the first kick, but they accumulate. Maybe not on the first kick, but after 2, 3, 4 kicks, they start to take a toll, and eventually you're going to have a hard time standing on your lead leg, all right? So when he throws the inside kick, what I want to do is always check it. Notice how I don't exaggerate the movement, all right? So as he threw the kick, boom. I just point the knee in the direction of the kick, boom. Short step, boom. And that's it. Come right back to the original stance, okay? Same thing on the outside. Now, I'm just going to point on the outside. Now, you don't want to raise too high. You want to be like this and raise like this, all right? That's going to hurt you. You want to hurt the kicker, all right? So as he kicks, just boom, short. So in Muay Thai and MMA, less is more. I always talk about, when I teach defensive techniques, I always teach my students that less is more. Make everything as smooth, efficient, and that conserve your energy so you have stuff to counterattack, all right? Sometimes we also chop a little bit lower, such as nowadays you'll see that a lot, but in Muay Thai, that's an old school technique, is the calf kick. So when he threw the calf kick, it goes here, right on the calf. It can go inside as well, right? So inside calf kick. So this one here, once again, you don't want to raise too high. Okay, sometimes you could be swift, you threw the kick and you just, whoo, just bring your foot above the kick, all right? But that's a little bit more fancy and you need to time that well. But in order to block, now if you saw that the guy kicked you in the calf, boom, you're like, oh, this is a calf kicker. So now don't raise your foot, just turn into it. Just boom, just walk into it, just point it out. Point the toes. Inside, same thing, point the toes, boom, just like this. Because now the kicker is going to hit on the surface of the hard shin bone and not have the padding of your calf muscles, so that way there, when he kicks, he's going to think twice the second time around. Now let's look at the middle line kicks, all right? So for example, if you threw the kick to the liver, we talked about that in the previous video. So that would be his kick right here, one. And I also talked about sometimes when their hands are here, kick right on the forearms. Boom, and that's very damaging with the shin bone. So of course, now if you feel that, you know, using your forearm is damaging to yourself defensively, now you want to create a shield, a little bit more of a shield, but you're going to use this hand to parry, all right? So as the kick comes in, boom, right here, again, boom, and then right here. Why you're doing this, go boom, is because now you're still in a great position to use your hands to counter back. Every time someone lifts on one leg, there's a fraction of a second before he regains composure with his original stance. So you want to take advantage of that after you block to use a counter. All right, so this is one simple way to block the liver kick. Last but not least, knees. All right, I'm going to show you two very easy stuff. There's many ways of blocking knees or scooping knees. Today, just to keep the video short, the easiest way is to not be in the range of the knee. But if you're stuck in a clinch, now if you threw, let's say, a knee from this position, and you know you're stuck in this position here, you won't be eating too many of those knees, right? Because they're going to, just like the kicks, take a toll. So as he holds my neck here, all you're going to do, use your palms and frame his hips. Okay, when you do so, always make sure that you're locking your elbows. Keep two stiff arms against the waistline. Now, if he threw knees, look, it's never enough for him to just raise. He's never going to reach the target, okay? But you don't want to stay here forever. That's just one tactic. Now, what you're going to do is, once you've blocked one or two knees, boom, boom, look, you're going to go here, boom, and then body lock him. As soon as you bring your hips against the hips, then there's no more knees, okay? So for mixed martial arts, this is a tactic we use in Muay Thai, but very easy to do for mixed martial arts. You got caught in the clinch here. Instead of re-clinching the person, this is not a Thai fight, this is an MMA fight. If he's clinching your head, block the knees, right? And then when you have an opportunity, look, both hands will come here, pop, and then it'll close the distance. Now, keep in mind as well, I'm just talking Muay Thai for MMA. If this was MMA in itself, if the person is using the clinch, the Thai clinch, your arms are underneath. So the level change is right there for the takedown, right? So, but we're not gonna cover takedowns today. It was just using techniques from Muay Thai in the MMA octagon. All right, guys, so there you have it. Some defensive techniques you can use if you're just starting out in mixed martial arts. This is stuff borrowed from Muay Thai. Basic techniques we use, all right, nothing advanced here, just to get you started. Hope you enjoyed this content. Leave us a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. Until next time.
See you guys in the next video.
Take care.